If people try to discount the United States history when we talk about our future, I hope you will take the time to explain to them why our history is so important. It's goddamn near impossible to discuss the future of the United States without talking about the past. And our past is riddled in white supremacy. Truly, that is how we get two different judicial systems and public education versus private education, and the reason we don't have health care, and the reason why so many people have to work multiple jobs. And the founding fathers of our country set it up this way. I heard somebody say recently that the founding fathers would hate what our country has become, and I almost laughed out loud. I couldn't because it was a press conference and everything was being recorded. But I was like, babes, this is how they set it up. The top 10% at the time were landowning, people-owning white men. Those were the only people included in We the People. Now, the top half of the 1% literally owns everything. They own our politicians. They own our livelihoods. We're tied to our desks because of healthcare being privatized. We're unable to follow our dreams, and we don't have the opportunity to follow our dreams because everything is so fucking hard. We're being squashed by capitalism, which is an ism that was created to uphold white supremacy. So when we talk about the future of the United States, I like to say when we're feeding children, we feed the future. But the reason why people are so uncomfortable with feeding people who don't look like them is because of white supremacy. And I think a lot of white Americans don't even recognize it. It's gone so far that they don't even recognize it. These generational lies. And the big lie that was started by the 10% who owned other people was that you're better than them. I wouldn't deign to hire you on my plantation to work this job because you're an upstanding white man. Doesn't matter how poor you are, you're still white. And that was the big lie. And over the years, it's been generationally passed down. And not unlike telephone, it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And some white Americans don't even recognize the fact that they hate so many people and they have so much resentment in their heart because of this system that was set up, designed to keep them out. So when I talk about the future of the United States, I do talk about getting money out of politics, but I also talk about economic investments into communities that have been systemically oppressed and systemically shut out of the economic system. Yeah, that includes reparations. That includes land back programs. When we talk about the future, we have to talk about a future that is equitable for all parties, because every single one of us is going to do better, be better. We're going to love more. We're going to have more opportunities if we extricate white supremacy from our system, and it'll be uncomfortable. I don't know what else to say. But the fact is that we've been avoiding the uncomfort for so long that now mountains are where molehills used to be. If you're a true crime person, the thing I can liken this to is what families must look like days before a family annihilator shows up and wipes them off the map. We've been avoiding the hard conversations for so long that they've created issues that are going to rip our country apart. But the first step to doing all of this, the first step to doing any of this, is believing that change is actually fucking possible. And I have to tell you, when you look at U.S. history, it's all there is. All there is small groups of people, regular people, banding together, deciding that change is possible. And a lot of them don't make the history books and they don't get their own mini series on Netflix. But so many people have done it so many times before us. And that should give you a little bit of hope. Let's build a broad coalition of working Americans who demand better, not just from our politicians, but from our economy and from our entire country, our judicial system. And we demand better because we know we deserve it. All of us, we all deserve opportunities. We shouldn't be getting squashed in the economy by geriatric companies being propped up by our government and industries being bought out at our expense. Nor should our politicians be propped up by those same industries, right? To keep them afloat.